Fate the Winx Saga is a live-action adaptation of the animated series of Winx Club, created by Eugenio Straffi in 2004. Now 17 years later, the Magical Girl series has been brought to life and is scheduled to premiere on January 22nd, 2021. After months of rumours and buzz surrounding the new series, Netflix have finally released a trailer, but the question is, how promising is Fate going to be? Welcome back to the Cartoon Hotspot, and in this video I'll be addressing everything we know so far about Fate the Winx Saga, analysing the trailer and the synopsis, and addressing a very controversial issue that sparked upon the production of Fate. Before we get into this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, leave a like and turn on that bell button for post notifications. Tucked in a mystic parallel world, the Althea school has trained fairies in the magical arts for thousands of years, but it's never had a student quite like Bloom. Raised in the human world, she's headstrong, kind and dangerous. Within her is a power that can destroy both worlds or save them. To control it, she has to control her emotions. She's a teenager, how hard could that be? Now you could take so much from the synopsis alone. In a 2019 interview with Eugenio Straffi, he stated that the series is aimed at the adult fans of the cartoon, so those who have been watching Winx Club since it premiered back in 2004. He called it edgier and darker than what they can imagine. And my take is that this live action adaptation will employ deeper and mature storylines, which is honestly great. However, some fans aren't pleased with the darker and dull theme from the trailer because Winx Club is usually so vibrant and colourful. So before I go on to analyse the trailer, I think it's best if I explain some of the changes made for Fate. The Winx Saga follows the coming of age journey of 5 fairies attending Althea, a magical boarding school in the Otherworld. Now I'm guessing the Otherworld is the equivalent of Magic City, which honestly I don't understand why that was changed, but not like it really makes a difference anyways. There's also no mention of Miss Faraganda, the head mistress of Althea in the cartoon series, but instead we hear of Miss Dowling, the supposed head teacher. There is also a mention of the Burned Ones, which I have no clue what they are, but I'm guessing they're some sort of creatures or monsters threatening the other world, I don't know. And it's also been confirmed that there will be male fairies and female specialists. As stated by the writer of Fate, Brian Young, boys can be fairies is the 21st century, and I completely agree. There's also a new specialist named Dane, and there is no mention of Brandon, Timmy, Helia or Naboo, so I'm not quite sure if they'll be included later on in the series, because I am aware that Netflix renewed Fate the Winx Saga for a season 2. I also want to talk about something that really upsets me about Fate the Winx Saga, and it's the fact that Tekna got completely scrapped from the series. I have no idea why Tekna got cut from the series. It's just so disappointing considering how underrated she is in the cartoon. Tekna is a character that shows you don't have to fit society's norm. The whole point of having a character like Tekna is to emphasize that girls can like technology and not be seen any way different to girls who are not so interested in technology. She doesn't have to fit your typical stereotype basically. So I feel like cutting Tekna completely from Fate was just a wrong move, and I'm hoping she's introduced later on in the series. Now let's analyse the trailer. So straight away, we're introduced to Bloom, who is testing out her powers or something, and we hear Bloom has the potential to be one of the most powerful fairies the world has ever known. Which takes me back to the synopsis I read out earlier on. Remember, it stated that within her is a power that can destroy both worlds or save it. So I think Bloom in this season is going to struggle a lot with harnessing her powers as well as her emotions. Now I'm thinking as well that Bloom could probably struggle with deep mental health issues such as anxiety or even depression, which could be dangerous as her emotions tie with her powers. And I'm pretty sure Abigail Cohen, who plays Bloom, was bullied in middle school, and she did mention that Shu in season 1 was very emotional and might have offered her solace during her own difficult high school years. So then our focus is shifted to the Winx themselves. We see a new character, Terra, which I'll go on to explain in much more detail. Aisha and Musa doing some sort of magical exercise where they're learning to control their powers. So Aisha is the fairy of waves, and we see her controlling water. Now Musa in the original cartoon series is the fairy of music, but in Fate she's described as the fairy of mind, and I quote unquote, an empath who keeps her headphones on to block out other people's emotions. And generally speaking, I'm a bit skeptical about this whole fairy of mind thing. I'm not quite sure what Netflix are trying to do here, because Musa's personality literally is based around her powers, which is music. So I'm a little bit intrigued to see how this whole fairy of mind thing plays out. Then it cuts to 2 boys fighting, and I'm guessing they're the specialists. I'm not sure if this is Riven and Sky, but I do have a different snapshot of Riven and Sky fighting, so I'm glad they kept that element the same. And then probably the part that caught my eye, well, the character rather, is Beatrix. I think Beatrix is supposed to be a combination of Icy, Stormy and Darcy, which at first I was like, okay. I would have preferred the tricks themselves, like the trio, but judging from the trailer, Beatrix, who is played by this girl called Sadie Overall, looks like she could be one of the most interesting antagonists. There's something about her that gives me a lot of Stormy and Darcy vibes, not so much Icy, but she actually looks like a good villain, so I'm interested to see her. And the final bit of the trailer I want to talk about is the outfit choices. What in the name of Andros are those outfit choices? I'm not too fond on the wardrobe designs, especially Aisha's. I know their colour scheme is supposed to mirror their respective powers, but was there really a need? Like, I'm pretty sure we'd be able to tell that Bloom is the Fairy of the Dragon Flame by her shooting fires, and I'm sure we'll be able to tell that Stella is the Fairy of Light. They didn't need to colour coordinate their powers. It also makes me question if the writers have actually watched Winx Club, because Aisha is supposed to be a tomboy who goes against stereotypes of what a girl should be like, and her wardrobe design just isn't matching her character for me. I have no idea what Musa is wearing, but I do like Stella and Bloom's outfit. Stella's outfit is a bit weird because it's not something she'd personally wear, but it does look nice on her. I'll give her that. Now, the last thing I need to address about Fate the Winx Saga is the controversy surrounding the whitewashing. We all know Winx is a representative show of different ethnicities. It includes a Latina character, Flora, an Asian character, Musa, and a black character, Aisha. Now, Netflix whitewashed two main characters, Flora and Musa, by casting two white women for the roles. Now with Flora it's a bit weird, so I'm going to try and explain it in the best way I can. Flora was replaced by a new character named Terra, in which Netflix claimed is not affiliated to Flora in any way. This was obviously a lie, as Terra has the same powers Flora has in the original series. Casting for Fate began August 2019, I believe, and Netflix announced that they were looking for an actress to play Flora, not Terra. So what triggered the change between Flora and Terra? Only Netflix can answer that, to be honest with you. I've seen a lot of rumours and I've heard a lot of chat on social media, emphasis on the word rumours, so it may or may not be true, that Netflix wanted to cast a plus size woman to play Terra or Flora, whichever one, to represent plus size people. Okay, understandable. Rational human beings, rational Winx Club fans will be acceptive of that, as every person should be appreciated and respected, regardless of their body figures, regardless of their body size. I don't think many people would have complained about a plus size Latina woman. After all, everyone is beautiful. But where the problem lies is that they used the excuse to cover up the fact that they didn't cast a Latina woman, and Netflix should be held accountable for their actions. Now, by no means am I attacking Elliot Salt. Like I said, I think everyone is beautiful and every human being should be treated equally. Attacking a person on social media goes against all morals, and I hope that everyone bullying her should know that they're just as bad as Netflix. Nobody deserves to be attacked by a bunch of fans whatsoever. With Musa's actress, it's fairly straightforward. She's purely Caucasian, but was casted to play an Asian character. And I'm sure both Elliot and Alicia are great actresses, and I'm not going to downplay their abilities if I haven't even seen Fate myself. Chances are they're probably talented people, but it's just disappointing to know that Netflix did something like this, so I hope they can see why fans are so angry. Winx Club is supposed to be a heavily diversified show. It's most girls and boys' childhood, with characters that represent different ethnicities and culture. So the fact that Fate casted two white women for roles made for women of colour is just shocking. With that being said, there's just one question left. Am I excited for Fate? And the answer is, fairly. I think it's important to note that you can be excited for this live action. There's no need to pretend or feel obliged to act like you're not absolutely excited for it. But it's also important to note that you can't turn a blind eye towards the controversy surrounding the casting of Fate. So that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe down below, and if you have any thoughts, feel free to comment them down and let's start a discussion. Bye!